Hey, everybody. This is Brigitte again. I want to talk to couples again. This is going to be couples part two. I want everybody, I'm going to slow it down so everybody can get the gist of what's happening, what can happen in real terms in trucking for couples. And I'll get back to single people. And single people can do that too, but I want to talk specifically to couples. Now, if you are a couple and you're not getting along, don't come into trucking because you will break up. But if you can manage to get along in a small space, then trucking might be for you. And I mentioned that couples can make more than $150,000 a year. It just depends on how you and your partner run that truck. Realistically speaking, the first year you're out there, you're probably gonna make about 75 grand because there's a learning curve. But the first step is to get there. And if you can get there and you can hang in there a year and 2 years, then after that you all can come in. And once you come in, you know, you have enough money to buy your home, you have enough money to settle down, and perhaps only one of you are out trucking and the other one is in, and maybe you like it so much that you stay out. But still, the first steps are going to school. So I talked about school, but trucking companies have schools in them. You give them a year contract, you don't have to pay that school back. And there are many of them. So Swift and Covenant and CRST, CR England. For couples, I really prefer Covenant and CRST. I think that they do the best job in training. If you were to call them today and your record's clean, you'll be in school on Friday. And that's the hard part. I don't want you to think that it's easy, because it's not. You have to get through that. Get your DMV book and start studying that book. Because you're on your own. This is an adult job. There is no one holding your hand. There's no one babysitting. They're going to give you a certain amount of time, I think like a week, to get those tests done. There are study groups that happen in the dorms. Everybody has rooms and or motel rooms that they let everybody stay in. Most of the time, you are separated, men and female. They won't necessarily give you the same rooms, but it's about a 45-day process. And if you can get through the 45 days, then you will be fine. Most trucks coming out now, I deliver trucks, I'm a transporter. I deliver brand new trucks off the assembly line. Most coming off now are automatics. And the reason they're beginning to be automatic is because we're gearing the trucking industry to the younger crowd and females. But those trucks run well. Swift just accepted about 2,000 automatic trucks. And most companies are US Express, I believe, is all automatic now. The trucks are moving toward automatic trucks, so they're going to be easier to drive and easier to maintain. Within that first year, as soon as you get finished with the school and your CDL test and them preparing you for that, you go down and you get your permit. They have a shuttle that's going to take you down to that DMV. You'll be studying every day like you're at college. It is a 2-week, I like to tell people, it's about like boot camp, because that you are on it every day. You're going to go take a test. The pressure is on. The pressure is on for you to get the gears in the truck. The pressure is on, but they're going to get you through it. They're going to get you through it. As I said, it can happen that both of you can go to school at the same time. But you won't necessarily, depending on where you go, be in the same training truck at the same time. If you choose Covenant, you will be. And if you choose, I have to think of the other company that does it, but Covenant for sure does that. And all I want you to do is stay put for a year. If you follow my guide, you'll be making, the first year, you'll make 75, 80 grand. And that next year, you'll be at 150, if not more than that. You don't have to stay there. There is a plan. There is a guide to move you on along the loop. When you get into trucking, you have to have some fortitude, a plan, and know what you're going to do and stay focused at it. There's money out here. There's money to be made. So the first thing is deciding what school you're going to talk to your mate. and decide what you're gonna do. What would you, if you're in a truck, you don't need an apartment, you don't need to pay any rent anywhere. Come in that because you're only gonna be home. If you're a couple, you're not gonna be home a lot. So you can save all of that money. You'll save all of your money. You will bank it, and you can go home. You can buy your home or a piece of land. Is it easy? No, not at first. You got to get through some stuff and move through and work it out. But there, you can go, as long as your records are clean, as long as you don't have any accidents, both of you can go to school and look them up and see. Get that DMV book and start studying it. As I said, if you call today, no later than next Friday, you'd be in someone's bus going to someone's school. Now, I also said that it's possible for one person to go to school first, and then when you get done, you got 30 days in, you bring your mate in and do that as well. That can happen as well. So when you're with the trainer, as soon as you get done with your 2 weeks, you're going to be paid a weekly salary, and everybody is different. It's either $350 or it's so much per mile. It just depends. But you will have money in your pocket after the first 2 weeks. You do have to have, most schools are going to pay for 2 meals, breakfast and dinner. And then some of them will give you a card to have money, but you should have money for the weekend. Or there are other, if someone can help you out on the weekends to make sure you have food. Everybody kind of pulls their money together to do that. But it's an opportunity. And for those that have been felons, you got to have 5 years clean most of the time, at least 5. And there are those trucking companies with that. But if you're a couple, I want you to seriously consider moving into the trucking industry. Let's get you in there first, and then later on down the line, I'll start talking about the next step, which is whether you're going to be a lease operator, whether you're going to own your own, how you move through that, because then you can double and triple your money. But as a couple, you have a lot of couples coming out now because they're able, one, to sustain themselves in the industry better. They're not so lonely. Trucking is a lonely industry. But if you don't like yourself, then it's not going to work either. So it might always sound good. Oh, we can do this, baby, we can do this. But if you can't get along, trucking's not for you. If you don't like to be alone, trucking's not for you. You have to, this is another world in a world. But couples, I want you to, let's take the first step. Call Covenant, call CRST, call, who else trains out there? Call US Express, call Swift. All of those guys train with opportunities to be owner-operators as well. We'll talk about that later down the road. But is the money there? Yes. But you have to work. If you're not willing to work, if you're not willing to drive that truck, don't come, because the only way to make money is to drive. But if you're driving, you'll bring home, the first week you're out there, you're going to make money. And if it's a plan, I have a plan for you. It's stay in the seat with the trainer for 30 days. I don't care what the trainer does to you. You just stay in that seat, get your training in, graduate. You and your mate are making money. All right? And this is Couples Part 2. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about some different types of trucking that are out there. And there are some different types of trucking that are out there that you can do if you don't have a CDL as well. But if your record is clean, if you don't have any accidents, if you have the fortitude to and like people, and we don't want any more grouchy people out here. If you can move through and you get a year in, you can do something like I do, transport trucks and hang out at the pool at night. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.